Well, happy 2026 and welcome to every piece of media I consumed during the year of 2025. Now, this list is going to include all the movies and TV shows I watched, all the video games I played, all of the music I listened to, and all of the YouTube videos I watched with some rules and exceptions, because obviously it's not going to be every single song I listen to. It's not going to be every single YouTube video I watch. I mean, with the amount of shorts I watch, that would be a nightmare. I will get to those rules later as they come up. But for now, there's 47 of these, so I just need to start speeding through so that this is a reasonably length video. So starting at number 47, the first video game of the list, Nintendo Switch 2 Welcome Tour. I don't know what to tell you about this, man. If this wasn't priced at the price it is, which is, I don't know, it's a number. It's too high. It should have been free. And then I played the game. The game is fine, whatever. Like, it's not, yeah, whatever. First movie on the list, Captain America Brave New World. Could have been a lot better, and like I understand there's production mishaps, and this was kind of in between like Marvel transitioning out of like the over rushed era and then into their new era right now, and this was kind of like a little casualty in the middle of that. But I mean, as you'll see later on this list, that doesn't always have to be a bad thing. Like this movie it wasn't good. It was just whatever, man. Next one on the list is a Minecraft movie, and you might be wondering, Logan, why are you putting a Minecraft movie higher than Captain America Brave New World? Well, it's because I actually enjoyed a Minecraft movie. I don't think it's a good movie. I think it's bad. This is not very good, but I enjoyed myself the entire time watching it because of that fact. And I think there was a genuine love and appreciation for the Minecraft community in this movie as well, so I can give it that. And also the production design of this movie I thought was incredible. Everything else is not great, and I don't know, it's at the bottom of this list for a reason. Next up is the Stephen Colbert, late night Stephen Colbert. Don't know what to tell you. I'll just lump it up with the next one, Jimmy Kimmel Live. I started watching these two during a certain time of the year, a couple months ago, for reasons that I won't dive into now. But yeah, they are talk shows, and while I did enjoy them, they're not going to be ranking as high as everything else on this list. I do want to say that I'm ranking all of these things based off of my enjoyment and or how much it impacted my life. This isn't necessarily ranking these on the quality or something like that, because look, we are comparing apples to oranges here when we're comparing a video game to a song. Like, those are really hard things to compare. So what I am ranking on is what I personally got out of them. So actually, what we're going to see in a few moments here, that there is something that is very low on this list that might be surprising to a lot of people. And I want you to understand, this is me. This is my list. Just because you like something that's low on this list doesn't mean... most of the things on this list, I just want to say, most of the things on this list I think are good. At the very least, I think are good. With the exception of Welcome Tour and maybe a Minecraft movie. Everything else, I'm like, these are at the very least good. So I don't want you... I'm not going to explain myself. The next one's Take Me to Snurch by Fairy Airy on YouTube. It's a parody of Take Me to Church, but it's all snails. And I want to dive into my YouTube video rule now that we are hitting YouTube videos. Every single YouTube video on this list are going to be the best of my liked videos. So that means every single YouTube video on this list are my favorite YouTube videos of the year. So we are going to be placing them throughout, but that's because it's really hard to compare a YouTube video to like a Hollywood produced movie. So yeah, I'll just say any YouTube video that appears on this list, I really enjoy, and it is one of my favorite of the year. It's mixed in with a bunch of other mediums as well. So moving on, what's going to go right after a Take Me to Church snail parody? The Godfather. This is that movie I was just talking about a few moments ago, where I was saying you might be surprised to see something so low. I watched The Godfather this year, and I just want to say right off the bat, it's a very well-made movie. It is a beautifully made movie, I'd say. And I think it is so deserving of the cultural impact it has had and its place in cinema history. Me personally, did not like it. It just it wasn't working for me. It was just, I don't know, maybe it's my Gen Z brain and I can't handle just sitting there for 3 hours watching stuff happen. I I don't know. It wasn't for me. Beautiful movie, very well made, not for me. Next up, we have Bigger from Dropout. Brennan Lee Mulligan and Isabella Roland, fantastic comedians. If you are interested at all in things like Middleditch and Schwartz on Netflix, where it's just long form improv comedy from audience suggestions, this is really great, and I think you might like it if you're into that. Next up is the live action How to Train Your Dragon movie. It was a fine movie. It's making me realize that I don't think there is a good way to do a live action adaptation. I thought maybe Disney was just doing it wrong. I think DreamWorks did it fine. They did a well-made adaptation of one of their previous movies, and it's still whatever. So, yeah, that's all I got out of it. All right, next up on this list is Four Pills by Cameron Esposito. We're going to start getting to the point of the list where I just need to move along. Just a very good comedy special. I like the direction and the production as a whole. Interesting choices for a televised stand-up special. It is really interesting. I think it has been nominated for some awards, so I think it's well deserving. Next up is Adam Conover's comedy special. These are both on Dropout, so if you wanted to go watch those, you could. After that, we have another YouTube video from a Minecraft YouTuber. This is BOO's Can I Build What I Draw? And I think it's just a wonderful dive into the artistic mind of BOO and what he does when he is building these beautiful builds in Minecraft and just his whole process. Really enjoyed seeing that. Next up, we have Mario Kart World. Man, it's been like a decade since the last like standalone Mario Kart entry, and this game, I mean, it's a Mario Kart game and it has some developments. It could have been a lot better, and maybe expectations killed my joy here. I did play this for a little bit. It's just, I expected more, and maybe I shouldn't have expected more from a Mario Kart game. It is a good Mario Kart game. It's just low on this list. Wicked for Good is my next one. Wicked is one of my favorite musicals. I actually saw this on Broadway in New York, and it was one of the first musicals I saw where I was like, oh, this is good musical. I like this. I like this genre of thing, and I'm glad Wicked was able to do that for me. I don't like Act 2 as much as I like the first act, so the second movie, I knew going in I was not going to like as much, and I was right. I think it improved in some ways on the original source material, so I think that's great. The adaptation is fine. Like, the movie itself, it's good. I like the movie. I just don't like the second act of Wicked very much. If you're interested in more of my thoughts, Schaefer Ellis Productions kind of echoes all of my thoughts about this movie exactly, so go watch his video if you want to just hear more about it. Next up is a Game Awards winner from a couple of years ago, Baldur's Gate 3. Now, I am not an RPG guy, as Scott the Woz would say, and this is not an exception. I really did enjoy this game. I think games that are of certain genres that I don't like, that make me like them more than I thought I would, just because they are so well made, I really appreciate. This is one of those. Metroid Dread is another one, because I don't like Metroidvanias at all. Those kind of games, with Baldur's Gate 3 included, I have massive respect for, but they are still held down by the fact I don't really like the genre of game. I also learned from this game that I don't have enough space on my computer for the amount of space this does take up. So I did have to delete it, and I think I accidentally deleted my save file too. So I might pick it up someday again. Didn't finish it. Really enjoyed what I did play though. Donkey Kong Bonanza is up next. I have not finished this game yet. I will get to it eventually. What I have played, this is fantastic. I love this game. Very well made. Clearly the Odyssey team was working on this, and I'm glad it's here, and I'm excited to get it finished within the next year probably. Now we have another YouTube video here from Jay the Dev Guide called Animation Doesn't Have to Be Hard. And if you watched my video from a couple months ago on me learning Blender, you'll see why I like this video. This video had a huge impact on me, and in fact, I'd say it was the video that inspired me to make that Blender video. and I learned a lot through the whole process. So this is an example of something on this list that isn't necessarily like knocking it out of the park with like enjoyment and quality of production. This is something that is this high on this list because it impacted me a lot. And I really appreciate this video. Go watch it. It's good to hear someone say, hey, you don't have to make what you enjoy difficult. You can just do it. Next up, we have Make Some Noise. I was a big fan of Game Changer, as you will see later on this list, but Make Some Noise, very good spinoff. I don't really enjoy it as much as Game Changer. It does get formulaic to me personally sometimes, but hey, it is still fantastic. As most of these things at this point of the list, they're going to be. I like most of these things. Next up, Donnie Darko, which is a movie I saw along with The Godfather, well, in tandem. I wanted to watch some like classics, like film bro, quote unquote, movies. And so Donnie Darko was another one of them. Really liked this one. I was super confused and I didn't know what was going on all the time, but I really enjoyed this one. Give it a watch if you haven't. Next one, this is called I Quit Sugar for 30 Days. By Alina Naza on YouTube. Now, I was just on a health kick for a little bit, and I was just looking through different health videos. And so when I saw this video, I thought it was just going to be another vlog where this person was going to talk about their experience. You know, I quit sugar for 30 days. This is what it was like. I wasn't expecting a 12-minute cinematic short film that represented the experience of quitting sugar for 30 days. It was a surprise to me, a wonderful surprise, and it really stuck with me. Please go support Alina. They have fantastic stuff on their channel. An amazing filmmaker. And another video game. This, The Peak. It kind of took the world by storm during that little special time of year when it did. And I eventually got around to playing it, and it's super fun. It's just a well-made, fun game. I mean, it's nothing special, but it is just fun. And you know, sometimes that's all you want out of a game. And it's just fun to play with other people. Proximity voice chat has got to be one of the best things ever put into games. I promise you. Next, we have a Drew Gooden video called Cooking Every Recipe I See Online for a Week. It's a funny video. Like, all of Drew's videos are super funny. I think this one is a little more personal to me because this video came out around a really difficult time of the year for me, where I was going through a lot of heartache and difficulty just getting through my day. So honestly, watching this video and also making some of the stuff from this video helped me through that time a bit, and I do really appreciate this video for that. So this is more of a personal reason that it's here on the list. But yeah, there you go. Here's another comedy special, Hank Green's Pissing Out Cancer. I watched this last year. I just want to make that clear. I watched this when it came out on Dropout in 2024. I'm counting it because Hank did re-release it on his YouTube channel just a few months ago. So I'm counting it as I watched it for the first time this year. Very good comedy special. He wrote this during his cancer treatment, and the fact that this is his first comedy special and it turned out so good, I don't know what to say. It's incredible. We got an Eddie Burback video. This is called ChatGPT Made Me Delusional. Eddie Burback was someone I really fell in love with this year for their content and their creativity in filmmaking. Eddie just has a gift, and I think he's one of the best content creators on the platform. This one specifically about ChatGPT and AI-induced psychosis. It's just a really good examination of our current cultural moment, and if you haven't watched it yet, as with most things on this list, go watch it. Now, I'm realizing that we're about halfway in, so we're halfway there. This list keeps getting better and better because that's just how this list works. So we got Fantastic Four up after that. I was looking forward to this movie for years. Ever since they announced it a couple of years back, I was like, yes, we're going to get a Fantastic Four movie. It's going to be from the MCU, and this was at a point in the MCU where they hadn't yet disappointed us yet with a bunch of years of failure and disappointment. So I was super excited about the film, and then I got super worried for a while. And then Daredevil and Thunderbolts came out, and I was like, okay, maybe. And this movie was good. It was like, it wasn't the best thing in the world. Not the best thing I watched this year, obviously. But it was great. It's definitely my favorite Fantastic Four movie, and I just it's such a unique style. I had a few gripes with like CGI and story, but other than that, solid film. After that, Smosh Try Not to Laugh 165. This was their April Fool's Day video. They were mimes the whole time, and this seems like a silly pick to have way up here. Honestly, the Smosh cast being able to showcase their talents and their comedic sensibilities while not using any words, I thought was super cool, especially Chance over here. He has incredible physical comedy, and you wouldn't really get that in its purest form without this video. I really enjoyed this video, and I've gone back several times to watch it. I think something else giving it points is that it is so good, even as an April Fool's Day video. Now, here's a game that came out many years ago, and I finally got around to this year, and my word, I still haven't finished it yet. I was doing a YouTube series on this on my gaming channel, and it kind of petered out a little bit. I might just finish it on my own, but what I have played so far is incredible, and I'm glad I went in spoiler-free to just play it on my own and discover this mystery that's wrapped in a time loop that is in space. Wonderful game, beautiful game. And here is another Marvel project. You'll see that I watched most of the Marvel projects that came out this year. I don't think I missed any of them. So this show, I was not looking forward to. I'll be so real with you. The What If series kind of put a bad taste in my mouth, and I wasn't really looking forward to seeing this because I was like, What If is kind of to me, and I'm actually going to lump Eyes of Wakanda and Marvel Zombies in with this because I like them all pretty much equally, despite the bad taste I have from the What If series. And I think with Spider-Man specifically, I saw the animation style in the trailers and I was like, ugh. But it grew on me, and by the end of the series, I found myself really enjoying it and looking forward to the next one. We got another Smosh video. I put in the finale of Smosh Summer Games here, but I am just going to go ahead and just toss the entirety of Smosh Summer Games in here. Which is a wonderful, wonderful series. I think it's more personal to me. I just really enjoy that they brought Smosh Summer Games back. I got into Smosh right after they did their last one, so I never got to be an active fan when Smosh Summer Games was also happening at the same time. So to have a new one that I could enjoy in the moment was super fun. Superman. I was also excited for this one. Fantastic Four and Superman were both movies I was super looking forward to the entire year, and neither of them disappointed. I thought Superman could have been better. It felt a little campy to me at certain points. I felt some of the dialogue was a little weird, but this movie gives me hope for DC going forward, which is not something I've really had. I only saw one DC movie in theaters before that, and that was Justice League. And I was like, hey, I don't plan on seeing another DC movie in theaters. But James Gunn taking over, I have hopes. Now we got a song on the list, and now when we talk about songs, not every single song I listened to this year is on this list, obviously. That would be insane. I don't remember every song I listened to this year. These are songs that made it into my annual playlist. I personally keep a playlist in every year, songs that stand out to me that I really enjoy. I pull them into the playlist. They kind of act as a time capsule. I've been keeping one every year since 2014. And so this is one of the first ones I added this year. And while this came out a few years ago, I heard it for the first time this year. Bo Burnham's That Funny Feeling. When I was looking up this image, I saw that apparently it was also circulating on TikTok earlier this year as well, so it makes sense that it popped up for me, I guess, at around the same time. I just thought it's because I was a Bo Burnham fan, but yeah, fantastic songs. I have sung it a lot this year. Next up, we have a very simple yet effective video from John Green on Vlogbrothers called My Religion. And now, he kind of made this video as a response to everybody being like going into Google and typing John Green religion? ? Because, you kind of wonder that from some guy who used to be a student chaplain and now writes books and is an internet personality. And just watching this video, it gives you a new perspective on Christianity, because I have grown up in a certain brand of Christianity, and so hearing it explained from a different angle was super interesting and impactful for me personally. Now, disclaimer on this one, I played Stardew Valley years ago. I have it on my Steam. I think I have it on my phone as well at one point. I can't say I really played it before though. Like, I would play it for a little bit and then I'd get bored of it and leave it behind. I got it last week and I'm now 2 years into the game already. And I really enjoyed it this time. This time around, it really stuck with me. I love this game. It is so well made. I'm glad to see that it's still getting support all of these years later. And it's a love letter to games. Like, the creator of this just loves making this. It feels pure, and I love that about it. Now, I don't know how to count this as a YouTube video or as a song. I listened to Pink Pony Club for the first time earlier this year. I really liked that one. But I'm putting this as the stand-in because Rick Astley did a cover on his YouTube channel of it. And this guy still can belt. He's got pipes on him. And this cover is incredible. It's not even good audio quality, but it is still fantastic. Go give it a listen if you haven't yet. After this, hey, look, yeah, it's another Drew Gooden video. Get used to it. There's going to be one more on this list after this. Drew Gooden's Greed is Destroying the World. Just a very well-researched video. Like, you expect comedy from Drew. He's a very talented comedian. But over the last couple of years, he's been getting better and better at research and social commentary. And this is a prime example of that from this year. I love this video. I'm going to say it again. If you haven't watched it already, go watch it. Now, this isn't K-pop Demon Hunters. This is K-pop Demon Hunters. Hang on, let me explain. This is for music. I have the entirety of the K-pop Demon Hunters soundtrack in my annual playlist, it seems. I'm going to just have Idol be the stand-in for the entire soundtrack, just so I'm not ranking every single K-pop Demon Hunters song on here as well. All those songs are bangers. My favorite is Idol, so I'm putting that one here. Oh my word, this song hits. It just hits. I like the full quotation of the Dies Irae at the beginning. And I just, if you haven't seen my K-pop Demon Hunters video that I made a few months ago, yeah, that explains all my thoughts in the movie. It's a great movie. I don't know what else to say about it. Thunderbolts. I was looking forward to this. I thought I was going to like Fantastic Four more at the beginning of this year. And Thunderbolts just came in and made me cry. What a movie. Like, it's not perfect by any means. I feel like some of the dialogue was a little whatever. The story could have been better. Some of the character beats I'm a little baffled by. But this movie has so much heart behind it. So much. And I want to see more of this from Marvel. Like, give us like good quality movies and give us heart, man. Because something that Captain America Brave New World did not have was heart. And this movie brought it in spades, and I loved it. All right, here's the last Drew Gooden video, I promise. Drew Gooden technology isn't fun anymore. This video kind of like gave me permission to finally voice how I've been feeling about technology over the last couple of years, because I used to be like super into technology, like looking up news all the time. I wanted to be the person who had all the new stuff. And over the last couple of years, that's like really gone downhill, and this video exemplifies all of the reasons why that's been the case and has put them into words. And so now I just go back to this video and be like, yeah, this is also how I feel. I'm glad that Drew put it into words, because my word, technology is becoming exhausting. Speaking of which, Eddie Burback, this is my favorite YouTube video of the year. It is called I Hate My Phone, so I got rid of it, which is fun because a couple of years ago I tried to do a similar thing, and watching him do it, I'm like, oh, that's how he went about it. That's really interesting. This is a guy who replaced his smartphone with other analog objects. got a landline instead, which made me almost want to get a landline myself. And again, Eddie is a very talented, I want to say, filmmaker, and the way he tells stories through this comedic yet interesting narrative is so good. And I don't want to keep repeating myself saying go watch it, but like especially this one, go watch it. Now I'm realizing now that we are in the top 10, so Technology Isn't Fun Anymore was number 10. This is number 9. Number 8, K-pop Demon Hunters. What a movie. Like, I saw it take the world by storm, and I watched it about a month and a half into it releasing, I think. And I wasn't expecting a movie to impact me on an emotional level so hard. Thunderbolts and K-pop Demon Hunters this year both hit the topic of shame. And that is something I resonate with a lot. And to see two movies take it on in different ways and yet in very effective ways was really resonant for me and impacted me on a major level. Again, I have a K-pop Demon Hunters video on the channel, so go ahead and watch that if you want more of my thoughts. After that, I mentioned it earlier in the video, Game Changer. This has got to be one of the most entertaining, not just game shows I've ever seen, but just television shows. I got into Dropout because of this show. I mean, I watched Hank Green's special, but then I wanted to watch Game Changer after seeing all these YouTube shorts. And what a show. It is so funny, so inspired. And, the whole team over there at Dropout is doing some really creative and innovative stuff. And it really shines in Game Changer. It has introduced me to a lot of talented comedians and has given me so many laughs. I think I binged like all 7 seasons in like 2 weeks. It's a good show. Coming in at number 6, Daredevil Born Again. I didn't know what to make of the show at the beginning of the year because at that point in the year, we hadn't started getting good Marvel projects yet. I think this came out right after Brave New World, which certainly did not give me hope. But I knew I'd heard the rumors that Marvel had switched up their production ideology at some point during the production of Daredevil. So I was like, maybe it'll be good and it'll have been saved by that. And yeah, it was because a lot of these episodes you could tell were produced and written in their slop era, I'll call it. But then they brought in the old Netflix writing team during production, and they wrote a few episodes that tied up the entire thing, and the series just works really well. I don't think it was as good as it could have been, which is why it's not higher on this list. But considering that they only got a couple episodes to make the entire season this great, I'm seriously looking forward to seeing what happens when they get a whole season to themselves in a couple of months here. Now, here is one that is super special to me, The Amazing Digital Circus. Jer, I've been seeing images of this show floating around for a couple of years. I remember watching you watch, I think, like the first episode when I was staying with you for a week a couple of years ago. And I finally just pulled the trigger when episode 6 came out this year. I'm like, I'm just going to watch it. And I binged the entire show in a night. I was like, this is incredible. And this was also around the time I was working with Blender. And I was like, animation is just amazing. Animation is like one of the best things ever. Indie animation is the future. I think, like, based on what this show is giving us, like, it is not something held down by, like, corporate studios and stuff like that. They really get to shine and do what they want and tell the stories that they want to tell, which doesn't hold the story down when you just let the creators do what they want. Number 4, Lost in Starlight. What gives this movie the right to make me cry like that? Some movies you watch and they make you cry for like a couple of minutes because they have like they crescendo to a big moment and it just makes you cry. Only for a few minutes. This stupid movie had me crying for 20 minutes during its finale, which was like a really long finale. And I was just crying the whole time because you don't know what's going to happen. The way they write this film, you feel as though there are stakes, which means you genuinely don't know how they're going to write the ending. Like, it's not predictable, and that tension is devastating. Go watch this movie. Incredible film. All right, we are in the top 3, and I think with any of these top 10, you could rearrange into any order and it would probably still be right. I do think these top 5 are pretty much locked into where they are as far as being in the top 5. These top 3, you could switch these around and like you probably be right. So we're gonna start with number 3. That could have been 2 or 1, but I'm putting it 3 just because that's how I did it. Andor season 2. What the heck? You know, the worst part about this show is finishing the show and realizing, oh, Star Wars is never going to be this good again, ever. This is it. This is as good as it's going to get, and that's really disappointing. But my word, this is one of the best things I've ever seen, not just this year, but period. How do they pull something like this off? The gritty, the grounded nature of this series has been fascinating to watch. And then I want to be spoiler free. There's a big moment at the end of the season where I was just like, they made that. Disney allowed this to get made. And it's super impactful, and my jaw was on the floor. I did not know what to make of it. Still kind of don't. This whole series has been super impactful, and I think elevates the entirety of Star Wars just by it existing. Like, it's not a standalone show. It has brought up everything else around it as well. Like, that's how good this show is. Watch Andor. Next up, the last video game on this list, Hades 2. You know, Hades was one of my favorite games of all time. Just a well-made game, a passionate game. I appreciate the amount of heart that was put into that game. And I heard Hades 2 was coming out, and I'm like, oh, they're going to make another one? Oh, I hope it goes well. And the early access came out last year. I didn't want to play it until it was fully finished and released on like the Switch, which is where I played it. And then I started seeing reviews. And apparently, this game was somehow better than the last one? Huh? They made one of the best games of all time even better? And yeah, I think the story is a little bit lacking under the first one, but the gameplay and everything else is just better in this game. And so yeah, this is now higher than Hades on my video game tier list. Wow. What a game. Beautiful. And this is number 2. So there's only one thing that could possibly have topped Hades 2 this year. That's Severance Season 2. It's crazy that we got the best thing of the year, like, in the first couple of weeks. Like, what an incredible show. I watched this show a couple of years ago. I watched this first season, and it was really disappointing to see at the end of it because the show was so good and it left on a cliffhanger, and Apple TV had still not greenlit another season. And I'm like, this could have been it. And then we got season 2, and I was blown away by their ability to expand the world in a meaningful way. And it elevated things, but it didn't elevate things beyond what already makes sense for this world. I'm amazed. And I'm so looking forward to what Severance Season 3 can do, because this story is incredible. And I am super excited to see what else they do with this show. I am like hanging on to every single line of that script that they write. And I'm super excited to see what comes next. So that was every piece of media I consumed this year, and this has been the longest video we've ever made on this channel. So I'm not going to say anything else. Thank you. There it was.